more of its citizens took Prozac than practically any other town in America.
I'll get that in a moment. How are everyone's pills? No more of you hardly touched your pills.
I kind of had big pills for lunch, and I wasn't gonna eat any more pills. Thank you, Conroy. You spoil us, Conroy.
When a person's central nervous system is changed by an SSRI with that medicine, they will view things differently, and they will be strangers. They look at things differently. I have a chemical up here that changes me. I think differently. For me, it was like walking around like this for my whole life and really not knowing that I was nearsighted. I mean, really. I mean, no one had ever offered me glasses. And then all of a sudden, here comes somebody that says, okay, now try these on, try this Prozac on. And I tried it on, and for the first time in my life, I went, whoa, is this the way reality really is?
More drugs.
Now we just have to solve the drug crisis in America.
Easy. We'll take them all.
Yes!
Your perception can be changed, and it's frightening and it's scary to people. It speaks of science fiction almost.
Well, the medicine just kind of lets you listen to what needs to go on. And then your doctor, every time you come back, he says, you're looking so much better. And then he just, like Jim, every time I come in, he goes, you are so beautiful, And he isn't even sucking up. I mean, he's being nice, You're beautiful, you're nice, you're friendly, you've got so much going for you. And I think, yeah, I do, yeah. So I go out and I tell my friends, oh, I feel so much better about myself. Mom goes out, oh, I feel so much better about myself. So your friends start saying, I've seen such an improvement. And everybody improves all the way around. They see improvement, it's like everybody's kind of brainwashing each other into being happy.
Horses live longer than tortoises now. Is that what you want for yourself? Maybe I just want you to carry if I run away yelling.
Who saved room for Pill Brulee?
Oh!
But there was a more effective way of reassuring people that was being developed that did not involve medication.
Hush, hush! Buffalo! Hush, hush! Buffalo! Hush, hush! Buffalo! Hush, hush! Buffalo!
It too came from computer systems, but this time artificial intelligence. But the way to do it had been discovered by accident. Back in the 1960s, there had been optimistic dreams that it would be possible to develop computers that could think like human beings. Scientists then spent years trying to program the rules that governed human thought. But they never worked. One computer scientist at MIT became so disillusioned that he decided to build a computer program that would parody these hopeless attempts. He was called Joseph Weizenbaum. And he built what he claimed was a computer psychotherapist. Just like a therapist, people could come and talk to the machine by typing in their problems. Weizenbaum called the program ELIZA. He modelled it on a real psychotherapist called Carl Rogers, who was famous for simply repeating back to the patient what they had just said. That is what ELIZA did. The patient sat in front of the screen and typed in what they were feeling, and the program repeated it back to them, often in the form of a question.
Men are all alike.
In what way?
Femputer!
All hail Femputer!
You all obey a big computer?
Yes, it appeared mysteriously, just about time men die out.
So why did you make it your leader?
It seemed like different kind of politician.
Not Beltway Insider.
Femputer, we bring offering of bath beads and scented soaps.
Your gift pleases Femputer. Femputer demands to know why there are men on her planet.
It was an accident, ma'am.
That does not Fempute. Femputer will return after deciding your punishment.
Leela, I'm through making fun of women. Now I want them to help me.
Should we do something?
There's no hurry.
They're always bugging us about something or other.
Can you think of a specific example?
Well, my boyfriend made me come here.
Your boyfriend made you come here?
He says I'm depressed much of the time.
I'm sorry to hear that you're depressed.
It's true. I am unhappy.
Do you think coming here will help you not to be unhappy?
Well, I need some help. That much seems certain.
One of the first people to use Eliza was Weizenbaum's secretary, and her reaction was something that he had not predicted at all.
And I asked her to my office and sat her down at the keyboard, and then she began to type. And of course, I looked over her shoulder to make sure that everything was operating properly. After 2 or 3 interchanges with the machine, she turned to me and she said, "Would you mind leaving the room, please?"
And yet she knew, as Weizenbaum did, that Eliza didn't understand a single word that was being typed into it.
You're like my father in some ways. You don't argue with me.
Why do you think I don't argue with you?
You're afraid of me.
Does it please you to think I'm afraid of you?
My father's afraid of everybody. My father's afraid of everybody.
Weizenbaum was astonished. He discovered that everyone who tried Eliza became engrossed. They would sit for hours telling the machine about their inner feelings and incredibly intimate details of their lives. They also liked it because it was free of any kind of patronizing elitism. One person said, "After all, the computer doesn't burn out, look down on you, or try to have sex with you."
Hello, Marge. Oh, my. Come, Marge. You don't need to cover up for me. I'm merely a pile of circuits and microchips.
Sorry, sometimes I forget.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Pierce, the water's perfect.
Isn't it just? It gets better.
Oh, you don't have to do it. Oh, Pierce, that's cool.
What Eliza showed was that in an age of individualism, what made people feel secure was having themselves reflected back to them, just like in a mirror. Artificial intelligence changed direction and started to create new systems that did just that, but on a giant scale. They were called intelligent agents.
Hush, hush. Hush, hush.
They worked by monitoring individuals, gathering vast amounts of data about their past behaviour, and then looked for patterns and correlations from which they could predict what they would want in the future. It was a system that ordered the world in a way that was centred around you. And in an age of anxious individualism, frightened of the future, that was reassuring, just like Eliza. a safe bubble protected you from the complexities of the world outside. But the applications of this new direction proved fruitful and profitable. If you liked that, you'll love this. What was rising up in different ways was a new system that promised to keep the world stable. Its tentacles reached into every area of our lives. Finance promised.
I said they all are looking suspicious characters. Who is the terrorist? Can someone tell me who is the extremist? Can you point him out and show me who is the terrorist? I wanna know who is the extremist. Can you tell who is a suicide bomber just because of the color of his skin? And do you know who is the terrorist just because of the way he's acting? Can you tell who is a suicide bomber just because of the color of his skin? And do you know who is the terrorist just because of the way he's acting? Who is the terrorist? I wanna know who is the extremist. Can you point him out and show me who is the terrorist? Cause I wanna know who is the extremist. Because they all are looking suspicious characters. Cause me they watch you and you they watch me. Me not trust you and you not trust me. Me they watch you and you they watch me. Cause me not trust you and you not trust me. We all are looking suspicious characters. Who are the terrorists? I wanna know who is the extremist. Can you point him out and show me who is the terrorist? I wanna know who is the extremist. I said they all are looking suspicious characters. Who are the terrorists? Can someone tell me who are the extremists?
Trusting every aspect of our lives to a giant computer was the smartest thing we ever did.
Absolutely.
Oh, I agree.
Finance promised that it could control the unpredictability of the free market. While individuals were more and more monitored to stabilize their physical and mental states. And increasingly, the intelligent agents online predicted what people would want in the future and how they would behave. But the biggest change was to politics. In a world where the overriding aim was now stability, politics became just part of a wider system of managing the world. The old idea of democratic politics, that it gave a voice to the weak against the powerful, was eroded. And a resentment began to quietly grow out on the edges of society.